Live on YouTube, live on Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. I'm Xander, and soon I'll be joined by the Golden Loon. And of course, you are you. Thank you very much for coming in and watching. Today is Wednesday, aka Wednesday. We know it's Thursday, aka Thursday, January 8th, 2026. Here he is, the Golden Loon in the flesh.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This show is about interesting and important events that happened to date throughout the annals of recorded history, starting with, in the year 307, Jin Huaidi became emperor of China in succession to his father, Jin Huidi, despite a challenge from his uncle, Sima Ying. And yeah, it says here from the other source, Sima Qi became emperor of the Jin dynasty in succession to his brother, Sima Zhang, despite a challenge from his other brother, Sima Ying. Now wait a minute. Hold on a second. This one says his uncle, this one says his brother. So which one is it? Then again, this is, dynastic royalty, so it could be both. I mean, my birth mother is also my sister, and my nephew is my brother. And we're not even royalty. So if we're this messed up, how bad can incestual bloodlines, be? But yeah, they got to fix that. Anyway, moving on up to 1297, Monaco gained independence. All right. And from the other source, it says here, Francois Grimaldi, disguised as a monk, led his men to capture the fortress protecting the Rock of Monaco, establishing his family as the rulers of Monaco. So
that goes back to when?
1297.
Wow.
So that's a lot more substantial than just Monaco gains independence.
Yeah.
This was kind of like a not really a coup, but a takeover, because they took over. So, 1310, the Great Frost in London, the Thames River froze so thickly bonfires were lit on it. Wow. Oh, and let's see here. Do I have? Okay, we're not to there yet. 1454, the Papal Bull Romanus Pontifex awarded the Kingdom of Portugal exclusive trade and colonization rights to all of Africa and Cape Bojador. Okay. That's not good. So that means that they have a monopoly on all of Africa, Portugal.
Okay.
Thanks to the papacy.
Ah, okay.
So, 5047, the first Lithuanian language book, the Catechism of Martianus Mazvias, was published in Königsberg. All right. 1598, Jews were expelled from Genoa, Italy. Why? Like, not every asking falls out of the sky. Why does this keep happening?
Yeah, you'd like them to just be a little broader in their
explanation. Quite possibly if they explain why, then people would start understanding why the Jews keep getting expelled from places and they would not have their victimhood. So, anyway, 1610, German astronomer Simon Marius independently discovered Jupiter's 4 largest moons one day after Galileo Galilei. That's pretty interesting.
We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, well, he confirmed the 4th one on the next day.
Yeah.
But still, it's pretty interesting. Like, just one day apart, and these two people just so happen. I mean, was it more observable at this specific time of year? Did they already know this? Like, how would they know it when they're discovering it? Like, would they surmise that something is there? Are they looking there on a hunch that there might be something there? Like, how did two people discover it's just within one day of each other?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's
unusual.
Yeah. 1656, oldest surviving commercial newspaper, Courante van Europa, now known as Haarlem's Dagblad, and still in print, began publication in Haarlem, Netherlands, and that's what this is. So this is what the original newspaper one looked like. Yeah. So the oldest surviving commercial newspaper, I believe, in the world, at least still surviving. Not the very first one, mind you, but this has been around since 1656 and it's still in publication, still in circulation. That's wild, man.
Yeah.
Like, how many companies out there are over a couple hundred years old?
Not many.
Yeah. 1675, first American commercial cooperation chartered New York Fishing Corporation, not cooperation, corporation, a New York fishing company, or I guess the New York Fishing Company. But yeah, the first commercial corporation chartered in the New World. That's pretty cool for fishing.
Yeah.
1708, Spanish treasure fleet fleet led by the San Jose and loaded with gold sunk after a British squadron attacked off the coast of Colombia, rediscovered in 2015. And I want to bring up something GTO brought up the other day. Is I remember we covered some Spanish fleet laden with gold and it just sunk.
Yeah.
With they didn't really tell us why. He believes that it was actually attacked by the French or whatever, and like all these European powers were fighting each other, getting into debt, and all that stuff. So and I forgot his exact reasoning, but it made sense, and I wish he was on the show to explain it better right now. But for whatever reason, they didn't report on that. And that's swept under the rug, trying to be not really lost to history, but trying to be rewritten to ignore it or something.
By ignoring it, rewrites it.
Yeah. So, as I said, I wish he was here, but and he provided a really solid explanation, and it is something I would suggest looking into. So, anyway, moving on up to 1760, Comet C1760A1, the Great Comet, approaches within 0.0682 astronomical units of Earth. 1 AU is from the Sun to Earth, so it was closer to Earth than the Sun was, which is still, pretty distant, but... 1790, first U.S. President George Washington delivered the first State of the Union address.
Ah.
All right. And I believe he did so in New York City. 1798, the 11th Amendment was ratified. Judicial powers were construed. It's construed. Okay, well, I guess constructed or something like that. So, 1800, wild boy of Aveyron, approximately the age of 12, was discovered in southern France after possibly 7 years in the wild. Later christened Victor of Aveyron. And I haven't really checked the past couple of days. I just there's just too much to do while researching and writing. But I'm just taking a really quick scan to see if there's anything X amount of centuries ago, and it doesn't look like there was. So going back up.
About what?
Well, in 1826 and 1726. Okay. 1 century ago, 2 centuries ago.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm trying to find something 26, but I couldn't. So anyway, what else do we got here? 1806, explorer William Clark viewed the skeleton of a 105-foot whale washed up on Cannon Beach, inhabited by the Tillamook Nation. This was in modern Oregon. So this was Lewis and Clark. This is Clark. He saw a skeleton of a whale. Louisiana slave revolt occurred in 1811 by Charles Deslandres at German coast. And it says here Charles Deslandres led an unsuccessful slave revolt in the North American settlements of St. Charles and St. James, Louisiana. 1815, Battle of New Orleans of the War of 1812. The war had ended on December 24th, 1814, but none of the combatants knew.
That's not good.
No. In today's world, with how everything is just connected with the internet and everything, just, the thought of, month or so later, still fighting a war that had ended, it's like, oh, how come you didn't know? Well, gee, because the horse hasn't gotten here yet, man. There's no telegraph, there's no email, there's no, Twitter, none of that, nothing, So
that happened to some Japanese on some of the different islands when they're
fighting.
Oh yeah,
us.
yeah.
Yeah,
Went on for a long time.
There's one that they found in 80, this late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
And he was raiding the local people for food and everything. He was hunkered down. He shot people. I think he killed people every now and then. And he said that he wouldn't stand down until his CEO, who just so happened to be alive, his CEO, commanding officer, would give him the order. And they brought him over, gave him the order, and could you imagine just, 10, 20, potentially 30 years?
Whatever it was, it was a long time. It's crazy.
So, yeah. Anyway, it says here, 1815, War of 1812, Battle of New Orleans, Andrew Jackson led American forces to victory over the British. Okay, so we won the battle after the war.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, there was a battle.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
But it didn't say who won. It said that the war was over, but two combatants still fought. So Andrew Jackson had a victory over the British, even though the War of 1812 was over. I think that's pretty cool.
That is. That's kind of strange.
Yeah. 1816, Sophie Germain was the first woman to win a prize from the Paris Academy of Sciences for her paper on elasticity. All right. 1828, the Democratic Party of the United States was organized. Yeah. Dark day for humanity. 1833, the Boston Academy of Music, the first U.S. music school, was established.
Ah.
Yeah, and 2 years later, U.S. national debt reached $0 for the first and only time in history, thanks to U.S. President Andrew Jackson, which he announced at a celebratory dinner after having reduced the U.S.'s national debt to zero for the only time, first and only.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're sure not there now.
Yeah. 1853, first U.S. bronze equestrian statue of Andrew Jackson was unveiled in Washington, D.C. All right, I guess it's Andrew Jackson Day. And by the way, this is a picture for that.
Ah.
U.S. national debt. And here's that. The statue is different now, but the original one looks like he used to have like what's it called? A bicorn hat? Not a tricorn, so I guess it's called a bicorn. I think there's another name for it. That's the hat he has.
Ah.
Like Napoleon, wore it sideways like this. A lot of people wore it long ways like that. Then, of course, there's like the tricorn hat, which is like a triangle, tricorner hat of the settlers and everything.
Well, why was the statue different? It should be the same statue. I don't get that.
Well, I mean, like I looked it up. Like here, let me look it up here really quick, just to show you what I was talking about. So images. See right here.
Ah.
Oh wait, no, that's a different angle. Oh, it's the angle.
Side.
Okay.
Yeah.
At first, I didn't see it. Okay,
Yeah.
I am stupid.
No,
so
I
it is
didn't
the
see it
same
either.
statue.
Yeah. It's just a different.
Yeah, dude, they're all from this angle too. What the hell? Like, it almost looks like there's a flag, so you know that's his hat. So it's the same statue.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was weirded out too. I was just like, okay, they changed the statue for whatever reason, whatever. So, anyway, moving on to 1856, Dr. John Veitch discovered large deposits of borax at Tuscan Springs in California.
Ah, yeah.
Yee. More mining stuff.
I think they still mine out there.
1867, black men were granted the right to vote in Washington, D.C., despite President Andrew Johnson's veto.
Yikes.
Yep. Well, that's why, like, we don't have a dictator. Well, we do, but, it's called the corporations. So, anyway, 1870, U.S. Mint at Carson City, Nevada began issuing coins. Cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the mint.
Yep. And 7 years later, 1877, Crazy Horse and his Sioux warriors fought their last battle with the United States Cavalry at Wolf Mountain in the Montana Territory. Yeah. 1884, chrome tanning process for leather patented by Augustus Schultz. I think Dr. Schultz, is it just for shoes? Chrome? No, seriously.
Inserts or something. Dr.
Schultz.
Inserts.
Yeah.
Inserts.
Yeah. Well, is that Dr. Schultz? Because Dr. Schultz is different.
Yeah. No, I think that's Dr. Scholl.
Yeah.
No T.
1889, Dr. Herman Holloway received the first U.S. patent for a mechanical tabulating machine, U.S. patent number 395791, for the art of applying statistics, his punch card calculator.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Jeez, yeah.
1889. Analog.
Yeah.
Calculatory things. Moving on to 1894, Columbus World's Fair in Chicago was destroyed by fire. That's a little suspicious to me personally after hearing theories about the mud flood, Tartarian Empire. If you look at any major city in the world, there was always a great fire, and it was all of them worldwide were within the same 50-year period. It's a little weird, almost as if they set fire to the whole world and just started over. That sounds fantastic, but truth is stranger than fiction. And when you start going down rabbit holes and start, like just looking at things and start thinking, you can start coming to some pretty wild conclusions that no matter how many times you redo the calculations, you have to face facts. The world is not as we believe it to be. History is a lie. So, it's written by the victor, So,
yeah.
1900, President William McKinley placed Alaska under military rule. I didn't know he did that.
Huh.
Yeah. I guess maybe like the Russians were trying to claim it. So,
Well, we bought it from the Russians.
yeah, and they're trying to say that deal was invalid or something. So good luck getting that back, though.
Yeah.
1902, the first National Bowling Championship was held in Chicago, Illinois. All right. While that was going on, New York State Assemblyman Francis G. Landon got a bill passed to criminalize men turning around on a street and, quote, looking at a woman in that way, end quote. In what way?
In that way, I love that.
Yeah. No, this crap is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
This is why so many innocent men are getting thrown in jail on false struggle snuggle accusations. You know, it's this crap, you know, like, maybe women need to toughen up. You know, how about that? You know, stop getting offended by getting leered at. You don't want to get noticed that much? Well, then stop wearing skimpy clothing. Well, I should have the right to dress how I wish. Yes, you do, honey. But you don't have the right to bitch when everybody looks at you.
This is a man writing that.
So men can be wrong.
Yeah, no, I know.
And this one is obviously very wrong. You can't criminalize men looking at women in that way.
Who interprets in that way?
What bullshit. Anyway, 1902 as well, the United Irish League, a leading force for unification in all Ireland and independence from Britain, held its convention in Dublin. I want Ireland to be free. They need to be free. 1904, Pope Pius X banned low-cut dresses in the presence of churchmen. That makes sense. You know, no. I mean, that makes sense. You know,
why?
Well, because you're coming onto church property, you know, dress accordingly. Simple.
By whose standards, though? Who's making the damn standards?
The freaking people who run the church, the Pope. You know? Anyway, 1906, landslide killed 20 people in Haverstraw, New York, caused by the excavation of clay along the Hudson River. Yikes. 2 years later, we have the first subway tunnel connecting Manhattan with Brooklyn under the East River, opened in New York City. I wonder if... Well, no, this was the Hudson and this was the East, but I wonder if these two were related in any sort of way. Maybe not directly, but I mean, like, you know, there's excavation of clay along the Hudson River, and then 2 years later in the East River, there's a tunnel.
Well,
so would they be making a tunnel somewhere else? You know, like simultaneous projects, you know?
Well, they could have been. Obviously, they're real active in building subway tunnels under the river.
Yeah. 1912, chiefs, representatives of peoples and church organizations, and other prominent individuals formed the African National Congress and declared its aim to bring all Africans together as one people to defend their rights and freedoms. The South African Native National Congress, SANC. All right. It's pretty cool. 1912, the city of San Diego. Why did I spell it that way? San Diego, passed an ordinance restricting free speech, provoking months of civil unrest between socialist wobblies and business leaders that became the bloodiest free speech fight in history. Why don't we know anything about this?
Yeah.
What the hell?
It restricts. We have a constitution. You can't restrict it. You know.
Freaking California, man.
Now, wait. Was California a state then? What date was that again?
1912. So I don't think California was a state.
That's a good question. I live here. I should know when.
Well, I live here too. When was California a state? California, blah, blah, blah. September 9th, 1850. And this is 1912. So California was a state.
Well established, yeah. Well,
yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know why it lasted for months. It should have been squashed immediately.
Yeah.
So... 1918, Mississippi became the first state to ratify the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, authorizing the prohibition of alcohol. Now, something a lot of people don't potentially realize about alcohol is back during those times, they had, you know, of course, diesel, petrol-powered engines and all that stuff. They had hydroelectric-powered engines and everything. Like, they had some kind of hydrogen, not like anything nuclear, obviously, but, like... They also had, like, alcohol power, like, you can brew, like, how they did in the wilds of the South. Like, they brew their own whiskey. What are they called?
Out in the...
Yeah.
Moonshiners.
Yeah. There are engines that could actually run off of moonshine.
Oh.
But big oil didn't like the competition, so they petitioned the government to do something about that. So they came up with prohibition, leaning on the religious aspect of it, playing on people's heartstrings, all that crap. But it was a giant plan to get rid of all of that engine. They wiped that from history, destroyed all those engines, made it illegal for people to brew their own alcohol, to buy alcohol, to just get rid of that as a fuel source. And then they even went so far as to poison and kill U.S. citizens to make them fear consuming alcohol. And then 10 years later, everybody forgot, and then...
Well, that was a disaster.
Yeah. It was all planned. Yeah. It was all planned. You know, and don't take my word for it.
Not to be a disaster wasn't planned.
Oh, yes, it was. Like, the best way to retain power is to create problems and then provide solutions for that problems while simultaneously taking away even more freedoms. That's how the system works. Look around you. Patriot Act. We both fell for that hook, line, and sinker. You know?
Yeah.
So... Anyway, moving on up to 1918 as well, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson outlined his 14 points for peace after the Great War as conditions for ending World War I. Then, what was that?
Woodrow Wilson.
Oh, yeah, boo, Woodrow Wilson. Yeah, no, Woodrow Wilson, one of the, if not the worst, leader in the history of the world. Just disgusting. 1920, the steel strike of 1919 ended in failure for the Amalgamated Association of Iron, Steel, and Tin Workers Labor Union. 1925, first all-female U.S. State Supreme Court appointed in Texas. All right.
Oh, Texas Supreme Court.
Yeah. 1926, Abdulaziz ibn Saud became king of Najd and Hejaz, forerunner to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. He is the founder of Saudi Arabia, that man. Yep. And his sons or his grandsons rule to this day.
Yeah.
Dynastic.
Family still runs it.
Yep. 1926, Crown Prince Nguyen Phuc Wing Thuy was crowned King/Emperor of Vietnam to be the country's last monarch. Yep.
Give me the year again.
1926.
Yeah.
Yep. 1929, Man with a Movie Camera, a Soviet experimental documentary film directed by Dziga Vertov, was released. And see, not sure if you can notice.
Did they arrest him, you mean?
No.
What do you mean? Oh, the film was released.
Yeah, the film was released.
Okay.
Soviet experimental documentary film.
Was released.
Yes. And you can't see that well, but right here, there's a mirror. So he's recording himself in a mirror.
Ah, yeah.
So it's just, he's recording himself, and that's the whole documentation or documentary, whatever. Thank you. First telephone connection between the Netherlands and the West Indies occurred on this date in 1929. It's pretty cool. 1933, anarchist insurrection of January 1933 broke out in Barcelona, Spain. That has to be something to do with the Spanish Civil War, Francisco Franco, all that stuff. 1935, spectrophotometer patented by A.C. Hardy. What is a spectrophotometer? Let's look this up here. I feel like a scientist just saying it. Like I need a double monitor. It is a branch of electromagnetic spectroscopy concerned with the quantitative measurement of the reflection or transmission properties of a material as a function of wavelength.
Wow.
Okay. I'm done. 1936, Kashif-e-Hijab decree was made and immediately enforced by Reza Shah, Iran's head of state, banning the wearing of Islamic veils in public. What a thought! Oh my God, they were actually moving forward back then. Holy crap!
So that was the Shah of Iran?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, getting rid of the hijab. Man, they were taking a step forward. What happened? What a shame. 1940, Britain's World War II rationing included bacon, butter, and sugar. Oh no. Three of my absolute favorite foods. Oh. I mean, you dip the bacon in the butter, then you dip it in the sugar, then you fry it, and then you have a delicious treat.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
It's candy bacon.
Candy bacon?
Yeah.
Have you ever had candy bacon?
No, but I want to try it.
Oh, God, it sounds awful.
You can't mess up bacon. It's bacon. So, 1945, University of Kentucky Wildcats men's basketball team set an NCAA record by holding Arkansas State to 6 points in a 75-6 win. Woo! They got their face caved in right there. 1946, Andrei Zandov, chairman of the Finnish Allied Commission, submitted to the Finnish War Criminal Court an interrogation report by General Eirik Buschhagen, a German prisoner of war, on the contacts between Finnish and German military personnel before the continuation war, and a copy of Hitler's Barbarossa Plan. Wow, there's a lot of things in there. Jeez. 1951, thought extinct since 1615, a cahal, the Bermuda petrel, was rediscovered in Bermuda. That's this bird here.
Oh.
Yeah. So it was not extinct. 1955, Furman set NCAA basketball single game scoring record with 154 points. Whoa. In one game?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a lot. He carried the team. Wow. 1955 as well, Georgia Tech ended Kentucky's 130-game home basketball win streak. Yeah. Did we talk about that the other day or yesterday? Or some kind of win streak was going on?
Yeah. But I don't think it was that one.
1956, Operation Auca. 5 U.S. missionaries were killed by the Huarani of Ecuador shortly after making contact with them. That's not nice. 1959, Cuban Revolutionary Forces captured Havana. We've been talking about that for the past couple of days.
Yeah.
So which one is it? Today, yesterday, or the day before? You know? Time zone only works within one 24-hour span. 1961, the French vote for Algerian independence from French rule in the wake of 7 years of guerrilla war. In France, a referendum supported Charles de Gaulle's politics on Algeria. All right. So good old Charles de Gaulle being a BAMF as usual. 1962, 21-year-old future Hall of Fame golfer Jack Nicklaus made his first professional appearance, tied 50th in the Los Angeles Open. All right. 1963, the Mona Lisa went on loan, unveiled in the United States' National Gallery of Art. That would have been cool to see.
I got to see that.
Lucky. Yeah. 1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson declared a war on poverty. So, much like the war on drugs and the war on this and the war on that and the war on communism, we're losing. I mean, the U.S. is more impoverished than ever. 1965, Senator Everett Dickinson introduced a bill to make the marigold the U.S. national flower. It did not pass. Okay? 1965, the Star of India returned to the American Museum of Natural History.
The what?
The American Museum of Natural History.
What was it that returned?
The Star of India.
Star of India, okay.
It's a giant gem or something. Like we talked about this the other day, I think. I could have sworn. Star of India. Images. Oh, no, it was a ship, I guess.
Ah, okay.
Okay. 1966, British rock bands, the Who and the Kinks, performed on the last Shindig TV show on ABC.
Shindig show.
Yeah.
I kind of remember that.
You know, like, to this day, since the first time I even heard the word, like, I know it means, like, a party. It's a shindig. It's a hootenanny. It's a hoedown, you know? But, like, I just imagine people, like, you know, dancing like cowboys and then just digging into their shins with a shovel. It's a shindig. It's like, what is wrong with me?
Only you would put that
I have a weird brain. 1966, the Beatles album Rubber Soul went to #1 and stayed there for 6 weeks, while the single We Can Work It Out also charts at #1 for 3 weeks. Okay. 68, Jacques Cousteau's first undersea special aired on U.S. network TV.
Loved his stuff.
Yeah.
Jacques Cousteau.
Yeah. Oceanographer, explorer, and scientist. 1971, 29 pilot whales beached themselves and died at San Clemente Island, California.
Oh, the island, not the city here.
No, the island. You know, that they had to take the bus to get to the city, and then they beached themselves. So, 1972, bowing to international pressure, President of Pakistan Zulfikar Ali Bhutto released Bengali leader Sheikh Mujibur Rahman from prison, who had been arrested after declaring the independence of Bangladesh. This had been removed from our primary source here. For whatever reason, he decided to erase this from history. Good thing I have backups. 1973, Judge Sirica began the trial of the Watergate burglars in Washington, D.C. The trial of 7 men accused of illegal entry into Democratic Party headquarters at Watergate began. We also have secret peace talks between U.S. and North Vietnam resumed near Paris. Now, what a lot of people don't realize is that the NVA, the North Vietnamese, they surrendered. They were done. Okay, we had won the war. But the people, the real power of any country, said no. The Viet Cong, Ho Chi Minh, they said no. We're going to keep fighting. And they kept hitting us. They kept hitting us. We kept a presence in there. And North Vietnam was just like, well, you know what? Screw it. They're fighting for us. We're going to fight for us too. And then the war got back on, and then we lost. Because the power of the people will destroy any dictatorship, any kingdom, any empire, overthrow any despot, any president, any leader, elected or otherwise. You, people of the world, you are the power, and do not let anybody tell you otherwise. Learn that, and make the governments of the world who keep you under the thumb fear you. That's what we got to do. They already do fear us. We got to exercise our power. 1975, Ella T. Grasso became governor of Connecticut, the first woman to serve as a governor in the United States other than by succeeding her husband. Oh, wow. So she actually earned it.
Yeah.
Good. And, of course, removed from primary source because, heaven forbid, that the left, the party of tolerance and love, the most hateful and evil and oppressive terroristic organization on this planet, would not want to showcase a woman actually getting something herself. That's the last thing they want is the people that they represent to be self-powerful. Then they would lose any power that they have. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, you're fine.
1976, Franklin Mint struck the first gold coins for Netherlands Antilles. 1 year later, 3 bombs exploded in Moscow, Russia, Soviet Union, within 37 minutes, killing 7 people. The bombings were attributed to an Armenian separatist group. 1978, Harvey Milk became the first openly homosexual or queer person elected to public office in California. Well, only in California. 1978 as well, the Israeli government voted to strengthen settlements in occupied Sinai. Well, you gotta maintain your grip on what you conquer. We also have 1979, French oil tanker MV Beetlejuice exploded while offloading its cargo in Bantry Bay, West Cork, Ireland, killing 50 crew members. Ooh. A salvage diver also later died. So, yikes. Maybe it's cursed or something. 1980, NCAA decided to sponsor a women's championship in 5 sports. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what's national? What is the NCAA? Is that the black group?
Huh?
Is that the black group or?
No. That's the sports.
I was thinking about the NCAA.
That's what they play. That's the laws and jurisdiction they play. The NCAA.
Oh, National College Athletics of America or something like that.
Association, probably.
Okay.
Athletic Association.
I was getting confused with the NAACP.
Probably National Collegiate. Okay. Athletic Association. That's
what? We have the technology.
That's what it is.
Well, let's double check to see if you're right. National Collegiate Athletic. But yes, you're right.
Say that again?
No,
not the mush. What did you say after that?
1981, Isabel Adelaide began a letter to her dying grandfather that will become her first novel, The House of the Spirits. While that was happening, a local farmer reported a UFO sighting in Transin province, France. This incident is claimed to be, quote, perhaps the most completely and carefully documented sighting of all time. And there's actually a little map. Like they had drawn a simpler one, but then this shelter of water pump, annex house, UFO trace of skidding or wheel tracks, earth platform or levee, private way with wheel tracks, terrace and wall.
I don't get it.
Well, I mean, like this is the sketch of like of evidence. Everything is labeled, like A, shelter of water pump, so that's where the water pump is sheltered. Yeah. B, annex house. Yeah. So that's the annex house, I guess, for the water. F, terrace and wall. Okay, so like this is terraced here.
Oh,
so, yeah. So this So it's described. So it's just describing. So C, UFO trace of skidding or wheel tracks. So right here is C. There's a UFO trace of skidding. So they're saying that the UFO came and then skidded against the ground and then launched back. Or maybe it was a hoax, you know? So, anyway, 1982, AT&T agreed to divest itself into 22 Bell System companies. Breakup of the Bell System in the U.S., AT&T agreed to divest itself into 22 subdivisions. Didn't work. 1982, U.S. Justice Department withdrew antitrust suit against IBM, pending since 1969. They just waited out the clock until they got away with it. And that's just awful. I say bring it back up and slap them. You know, slap them hard. You know, make them bleed. You know, 1985, Japan launched Sagikaki space probe to Halley's Comet. We spoke about that yesterday. 1986, San Francisco Giants' Willie McCovey was the 16th elected to Major League Baseball Hall of Fame in his first year of eligibility. He must have been really good.
He's a great one.
Yeah.
Willie McCovey.
Yeah, there he is, right there.
Yeah.
1987, Dow Jones Industrial Average closed above 2,000 for the first time at 2,002.25. 1987, Jack Sikma of Milwaukee began NBA free throw streak of 51 games. Wow. You know, should have told Shaq a thing or two.
Yeah, should have had the number in the streak, not just the games.
Yeah. If anybody can let us know in the comments section, you know, what the number was, that'd be cool. 1988, Hewlett-Packard introduced HP 28S Advanced Scientific Calculator. You know what? Let's take a look at that thing. See what it looks like compared to what we have in today's world. Okay, so it looks like just any other, I guess the technology peaked with that. Which, you remember Texas Instruments, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I think we've had this conversation, but I was flabbergasted when I initially heard that Texas Instruments, the same people who made my calculators, were the same people who invented the laser guidance missile system.
Yeah?
They had military contracts. They work with the U.S. government's armed forces. That's wild. They build their missiles. The calculator people.
Yeah.
What the hell? 1989, beginning of the Japanese Heisei era. Okay. I don't know what that is, but cool. 1989 as well, Soviet Union promised to eliminate stockpiles of chemical weapons, but did they? That is a good question. 1992, George H.W. Bush fell ill and vomited on Japanese Prime Minister's lap.
Oh, man. Are you kidding me?
You haven't heard about that?
No.
I've seen the video. He's just sitting there all of a sudden, bleh, and it's like, what is wrong with you?
God, no, I never heard
How do you just spontaneously throw up?
Well, obviously he wasn't feeling good.
Yeah. 1993, Elvis Presley commemorative postage stamps went on sale. Okay. 1993, Michael Jordan's game-high 35-point lead Chicago to a 128-95 win over Milwaukee, giving him exactly 20,000 points in the 620th game of his NBA career, the second fastest to reach this milestone after Wilt Chamberlain of 499. Great stars.
Yeah.
Great athletes. Superb. 1993, Robert Rodriguez's El Mariachi debuted at the Toronto Film Festival. It will become the lowest budgeted film ever to gross $1 million. But what was its budget?
Yeah, they tell you it's the lowest, but what was the lowest?
Yeah. Wow. Careful.
Good heavens.
How did you do that?
I don't know. I have no idea. I was coming around to look at that.
Careful.
Wow.
Jesus.
Okay. I'm alive.
We almost saw the death of the loon live on camera. Fuck. Oh my God. Wow, wow. How did you do that?
I have no idea.
Budget. Let's see here. What was its budget? Yeah, let's just figure this here really quick. 7,000? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
$7,000?
Gross to $1 million.
You can't even buy a good camera for $7,000. Holy shit. Good job. Excellent work. Moving on up to 1994, Russian manned spacecraft TM-18 launched into orbit. The Russian cosmonaut Valery Polyakov of Soyuz TM-18 left for Mir. He would stay on the space station until March 22nd, 1995 for a record 437 days in space. Whoa! 437 days in space. Can you imagine that? And it's just a blip on our primary source. What?
Over a year.
That is over a year.
Yeah.
Well over a year.
Yeah, way over.
1996, for the first time in 25 years, no one is elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Whoa.
Wow. I guess nobody.
Crap year.
Yeah. 1996, an Antonov AN-32 cargo aircraft crashed into a crowded market in Kinshasa, Zaire, killing up to 223 people on the ground. 2 of the 6 crew members were also killed. Yikes, man. Yikes. And we thought an old guy behind the wheel was a disaster. Shouldn't be laughing at that.
No.
1998, Unabomber suspect Ted Kaczynski asked to act as his own lawyer. Okay, yeah, go for it, buddy. We also have the World Trade Center bomber Ramzi Ahmed Yusuf sentenced to life in prison. Okay. 1993, a tree planting protest against the privatization of Karura Forest, including Wangari Maathai, attacked in Kenya, prompting outrage. Why would you attack people planting trees? What the hell? So,
there's more to it than that, obviously.
Well, she's an environmentalist, and well, like I guess it's a depressive government or something. This was in Kenya. So, in the year 2000, the identities of 2 boys who murdered a toddler in 1993 will be kept secret, the High Court rules. Bullcrap. Bullcrap. Spray their names all over the place. Let the world know of these monsters. You know?
Kids, right?
Yeah. 2 boys who murdered a toddler. But still, I don't care. You take a life, you're done.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're 83 or 8 or 6. You know? 2002, U.S. President George W. Bush signed into law the No Child Left Behind Act, providing financial assistance to schools exhibiting academic improvement. All that did was make everything rely on stupid testing and crap, and they don't give a crap about their education, just the numbers. You know? The kids suffered even greater since then. 2004, RMS Queen Mary II, the largest passenger ship ever built, blah, 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 was christened by her namesake's granddaughter, Queen Elizabeth II. It's pretty cool. Christen a ship, named after your mom.
Yeah.
Jazz. 2005, the nuclear submarine USS San Francisco collided at full speed with an undersea mountain south of Guam. 1 man was killed, but the subsurface...
An undersea mountain? You didn't see it coming? Where's your...
No, it was undersea.
I know.
They couldn't see it.
Well, they have visual radar and everything else going on.
I know.
How do you miss a mountain? Full speed.
Well, it was under the water. I know you're talking about sonar.
Undersea, yeah.
Like a submarine, Mr. Wayne. But this was removed from primary source. And I actually do... Oh, yeah, here's a poster for El Mariachi. So, that looks interesting. I actually kind of want to watch that movie. But look at that. Boom!
Wow.
Like, ouch!
Full speed.
Full speed.
Why?
Yeah. They're lucky they didn't explode and pop like a grape. In 2006, a magnitude 6.9 earthquake with its epicenter just off the Greek island of Kythera hit much of the country, and it was felt throughout the entire eastern Mediterranean. Yikes.
It's a big one.
Yep. In 2008, New Jersey officially apologized for slavery, becoming the first northern state to do so. Did we not apologize enough by sending thousands of people to die for your freedom? Now you want us to kiss your ass? How about you kiss my ass? How about that? Apologize for slavery. We fought and bled and died in that. What the hell? 2009, a 6.2 magnitude earthquake hit Costa Rica's region of Volonpalas with an epicenter near Shinwasha. It was caused by Vara Blanca angle fault. Killed 15 people and injured 32. Yikes. 2011, attempted assassination of Arizona Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords and subsequent shooting of Casas Adobes, Arizona, at a Safeway grocery store. Killed 6 and wounded 13, including Giffords. Yeah, sitting U.S. Congressman Gabby Giffords was shot in the head. Yeah. What?
It didn't kill her, though.
What the hell?
Yeah.
She survived a headshot?
Yeah, but not...
Wow.
Well, she was, never...
Well, I've heard of headshots not... It's not 100% lethality,
But she was... she's a mess to this day.
Yeah, you're not going to, go unscathed.
Her brain was scrambled.
Yes. That sucks. And as wild as it is, there are quite a few stories out there. People getting shot in the head, having extreme head injuries.
Nail guns.
There's this one thing about, some guy with some railroad worker with something, and then like some pole went completely through his head, and then he survived for many years later or whatever. So head trauma, though highly fatal, is survivable, in some very bizarre situations. Yeah. Like in this case, she survived, not unscathed, but she's alive. Yeah. Count your blessings. So, moving on to 2012, the 3-16 game AFC wildcard playoff, underdogs Denver Broncos defeated Pittsburgh Steelers 29-23, with Tim Tebow connecting with Demaryius Thomas on an 80-yard touchdown pass on first scrimmage play of overtime. Tim Tebow, I haven't heard that name in forever. Wow.
I remember that. I remember him on the first play from overtime. Yeah, he scored a touchdown, game was over.
Yeah.
One play.
Remember this stupid meme, like Tebowing, like you're just like doing that or something?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. 2013, 130 wildfires across Australia's east coast forced thousands to evacuate their homes. 2013 as well, 2,130 prisoners held by the Syrian government were exchanged for 48 Iranians kidnapped by Syrian rebels. That doesn't seem like a fair trade right there. So, 2014, first known interstellar meteor to hit Earth, CNOS 2014-0108 crash land in Papua New Guinea. Huh.
What?
How do you know if it's interstellar? Like, were they tracking it and everything?
Must have been.
Huh. 2016, ISO / Columbia Records / Sony Music released David Bowie's 26th and final studio album, Black Star, on his 69th birthday. Enters charts in the US and UK at number 1. Mm-hmm. And he later died that year. 2016 took a lot of people from us. Rest in peace, Harambe. So, 2016 as well, Mexican President Enrique Peña Nieto announced the recapture of drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman 6 months after his escape from prison.
El Chapo, yeah.
El Chapo. 2018, self-declared Republic of Somaliland passed its first ever law against struggle snuggle. Wow. And aren't we having a few issues with these people currently in the States right now?
Yeah.
Somaliland?
Yeah.
Somalia. Is Somalia and Somaliland two different places?
I've never heard of Somaliland.
Well, there's Somaliland.
Well, that's what they're saying, but
The self-declared Republic of Somaliland.
Yeah. It's got to be Somalia.
Yeah. 2018, U.S. record year for cost of natural disasters announced, $306 billion in 2017. Yikes. 2020, singer Justin Bieber revealed that he had Lyme disease, an infectious disease spread by ticks. Well, was he fornicating with deers or something? Like, how do you have Lyme disease?
Yeah, you can get it if you get a tick and it has Lyme disease, and it passes it to you.
But how
does sucking on your blood?
But how does he get a tick?
Well, maybe he was
out
in the forest.
Out in the forest, really getting dirty like a peasant. So somebody of his status, really? Come on. No, I think he was doing something with animals. 2020, Ukrainian Boeing 737-800 crashed just after takeoff from Tehran, in Iran, killing 176 on board. Yikes. Airlines Flight 752 crashed immediately after takeoff at Tehran Imam Khomeini International Airport. All 176 on board were murdered because the plane was shot down by an Iranian anti-aircraft missile. Ukraine and Iran and all that stuff. This was, like Russia. Mm-hmm. So maybe they had something to do with this. It's weird how the primary source doesn't mention the missile part. Just like how,
Yeah.
So how those Spanish ships just magically sunk with all that gold. I brought that up earlier and all that jazz. So, 2021, Twitter banned U.S. President Donald Trump permanently, quote, due to the risk of further incitement of violence, end quotes. Yeah. Oh my God.
Bunch of crap.
Yeah. Dude, we get it. You hate him. Yeah. You have a rage Cheeto dust, thing for this guy. Leave him alone, 2021, U.S. Speaker Nancy Pelosi demanded President Donald Trump's resignation or he will face a second impeachment, while also calling for Vice President Mike Pence to invoke the 25th Amendment to remove him in the wake of the January 6th attack on the Capitol, which he had nothing to do with. Yeah. Which Nancy Pelosi probably has more to do with than he does. Well,
she did turn down 10,000
National Guard.
National Guard.
Yeah. So if anybody needs to face charges, she should. for inciting violence.
That's just political rhetoric.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
It's all crap.
Yeah.
So, but she just needs to shut the hell up and realize that she's just an idiot. 2023, China loosened travel restrictions and reopened its borders after nearly 3 years. Okay? While that was going on, supporters of former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro attacked Brazilian government buildings, including the High Court and Presidential Palace, with over 1,500 later arrested. 2024, electronics brand LG unveiled their signature OLED, the world's first wireless TV with a transparent screen, at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. What is this?
I don't know.
Let's check this out here. Is it like a see-through television? Let's see here. Images. Wow. It is. Look at that. It's a transparent TV. Well, I guess it's just a screen. It looks like there's just a screen there. So,
I don't know.
I wonder.
They're making a big deal out of it, so it must have been something, but I don't get it.
I'm seeing. See this little box here in the bottom corner?
Yeah.
I see that in every one of these photos. There's always that little box.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if this is just some glorified projector. If it's just a see-through canvas screen, and they just have a projector. Oh, it's a see-through TV. No, it's not. You're just charging $8,000 for a $100 instrument. How typical. So, anyway, get in your corner. Get in your corner. Come on. There you go. Good boy. 2024, Pope Francis said surrogate motherhood should be banned, calling it despicable for commercializing pregnancy. If you physically can't have a baby, I understand. But if you can't, but if you're like a celebrity and you don't want to ruin your physical appearance, F you.
Oh, that's not what that's about.
No, that's exactly what this is about. There's a lot of celebrities using surrogate mothers to have children, but they use other people, and there's advanced technology. They somehow they transport her egg out of her womb and put it into the other woman's womb or something. Like crazy technology. But this happens all the time, especially in Hollywood. So what this Francis is saying, I absolutely support, as I said, unless you physically cannot have a baby, I understand surrogates. But if you physically can, but you're choosing not to, but this is a serious problem. A legitimate thing.
Oh, so I just read it as someone that couldn't have.
Surrogate motherhood, he says, surrogate motherhood should be banned, calling it despicable for commercializing pregnancy because Hollywood is using surrogate mothers for Hollywood actors or actresses to have babies without ruining their midsection. And some of them even have fake baby bumps. There's this whole scandal. I forgot her. I think it was Nicki Minaj. I don't know.
Baby bumps.
Your pregnant belly.
Oh.
That's what they call it, a baby bump.
Oh.
But there's this one scandal where this actress who's been saying that she was pregnant, she went to sit down and her pregnant belly folded like a prosthetic. So people speculate that the whole thing is fake. So, I don't know. You know how these people do anything for publicity. So, 2024, the decision to seize Andrew Tate's assets is overturned by Bucharest Court of Appeal after a successful appeal, ordering a new trial over the assets.
I don't know who that is.
Andrew Tate is some YouTuber, some guy, a real douche, to be honest, sitting there with his bald-ass head, smoking a cigar, thinking he's hot shit. And apparently, he goes on about Bugattis or something. He talks about women in derogatory. I don't know. The guy's a jackass. Just some showboaty douchebag with abs, like a dime a dozen. 2024, U.S. Army veteran Henry Robbie Robinson, at the age of 98, was awarded France's Medal of Honor for his service in World War II by French ambassador to the U.S. in a ceremony in Las Vegas, Nevada. Robinson worked as a scout behind enemy lines, fought in the Battle of the Bulge, participated in the liberation of the Mauthausen and Gusen concentration camps, and served as a guard during the Nuremberg trials.
Good grief. The guy did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I don't think one Medal of Honor would do it. So, but at least he's getting something.
Yeah.
That's good. 2024, Vulcan, NASA's first commercially financed moon mission. Wait. What? Oh, well, I guess commercially, yeah, not federally.
Okay, yeah, private, in other words.
Yeah, launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, but its lander Peregrine developed problems soon after. So, commercially financed, that means, like not from taxpayers.
Right.
Before it was all taxpayers.
Yeah.
There were no commercial,
Yeah.
Involvements. So, and that shall conclude the show today. Where'd my script vanish to? Is this it here? Yes. Please check the underbar description for any link below for any links that you may be interested in, including but not limited to Omni Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion. Please check our sources for more. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If we don't stream, it will be up. We have to have a show out every day. Please check the underbar for all of you and all of us. I am Alexander.
Golden Loon.
And you. And until you catch us next time, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection. Rate 5 thumbs and subscribe. Toodles!